bottom in the mailroom, living in Boston, Mass, and progressed my way up to a very senior executive. My wife and I made the decision when we were in Dallas to come home. Clarksville is both our home. Raised here, our children were sort of getting ready to hit middle school, and we decided it was time for them to have roots and see their grandparents and see their cousins, see their aunt and uncle. And we made that decision, and I started a small business here on Madison Street with Beth, my wife. And we sold it a couple of years ago, and we looked at what we were doing, and I decided that now is the time for me to give back. Montgomery County has been wonderful to me. I work for people. Growing up, if you know my family, they own the Red River Block Company on Craft Street for 50 years. The Norris family has probably been in Clarksville for 10 generations. And it was time that we came back and did something good for the community. Kids are doing well. They're 16 now, a lot smarter than their dad. They tell me that every day. And I'm here to make a change. Change brings a new perspective. And in the trustee's office, it's an important job. And certainly I would want to say to Corinthia that we appreciate all that she's done in that job for 20 plus years. Not trying to take anything away from her, but I believe that with my leadership, with my skills in business, with my education, I also have a master's degree, that I can make positive changes for the trustee's office and for Montgomery County. I would very much appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Okay, do you have any questions, Helga? If anybody has a question, just raise your hand. She's going to look around the room. Here's one, and she'll give you the paper to ask a question. I'm going to start with a question here, if I can get my timer going back right. I've got a question. What plans do you have, if elected, to be connected with or to meet with your constituents, like a community meeting or a town hall meeting, annually, semi-annually, or some part on Facebook or whatnot? A lot of times when people get elected, you never see them again, or they don't let you know what's going on. And we'll go in reverse order. This time we'll go to Mr. Norris to answer first.
Well, obviously, if you're a public servant, you need to be in the public's eye. I will admit one of the weaknesses that I have not been as involved in the community as I should have been, running a business, raising kids. What didn't make it the priority, and that was a mistake on my part. But I do know that getting out in the community and talking about the trustee's office, talking about the importance of the trustee's office, ensuring they understand what we're doing in the trustee's office, to civic groups, to church organizations, even to the schools. I currently go to my kids' school and teach a class on credit reporting, financial services. And it's amazing when somebody comes in that's an expert and can talk about the good things that are going on in an industry that sometimes has a bad reputation. You can get the kids excited and you can teach them. So will I be involved in the community? Absolutely. Will I go to civic groups, schools, church groups? Absolutely. Will I be more involved in the organizations around town that do great things for the community? Absolutely. Thank you.
We have met with many different groups. We have been in the community, in the veterans. We're part of the Veterans Coalition Group, where we meet monthly and distribute tax relief information. We have met on many occasions with different church groups, and that is one of the things I plan to continue. I also would like to utilize social media to get the word out about tax relief and tax freeze. There's still a lot of people that are still not clear about some of the benefits that we offer. And we do send out our tax relief insert that gives a lot of information, but I believe reaching the masses via social media to explain what we do and some of the services that we offer for disabled veterans and for the disabled homeowners and the elderly, I think that is vital, and I will do my best and work very hard to meet with different civic organizations, church groups, and many of the different functions that are around town.
Thank you. And I guess while we're on that subject, I'm going to skip to that one, and then I'll get back to the question from the audience. But earlier I was speaking with Dan Castle about the veterans, and he was asking about what do you plan for veterans as far as tax relief, or do you plan on continuing this? And I think Dan went to the...
We went to Vets on the Hill last week. There was about 300 or so down there.
The DAV.
Yeah, well, no, it was Vets all over the state of Tennessee.
Okay.
Vets from all over the state of Tennessee, not just DAV.
Okay, and what do you plan to do with that? Do you plan on keeping the tax relief for disabled veterans? Just I'll let you go first then.
The disabled veteran tax relief and all the tax relief that we administer are state programs. So all of the rules and eligibility comes from the state. We plan to continue to help veterans. We help them daily in the trustee's office. Currently, we have over 4,000 people, homeowners who are currently on the tax relief program. We have grown the program over 600% the past 12 years. We have created this brochure that is the Veterans Guide to Benefits, and also for the homeowners and the disabled. And this explains all of the eligibility and the qualifications. So yes, I believe that this is a good program, and I will continue to support it. I know that last year the veterans received a new state law that changed the income requirement, where they had to provide their income in order to qualify. So the office met and we petitioned the legislators, and we had Senator Mark Green, Representative Jerry, Curtis Johnson, and Joe Pitts, and they assisted our office. We were the only office in the state of Tennessee that fought hard for the veterans, and we were able to restore almost $500 back into the program and remove the income requirement that disqualified many veterans. So this is our passion, helping the elderly, the disabled homeowner, and the disabled veteran on tax relief. And it is a very good program, and we assist them daily.
When my children were 6 months old, we lived in New Jersey, outside of Manhattan. And on 9/11, we watched the towers go down. And my first thought was about my friends that were stationed at Fort Campbell, who I went to school with, Austin Peay. Corinthia knows the numbers, she knows the facts, and certainly when something like that hits you in the heart like it does, there's nothing you want to do other than help the veterans and the disabled. And certainly, I would never do anything to stop that. It's too important to Montgomery County. We're tied in with Fort Campbell, and it's a great relationship. And anything that we can do to help veterans, absolutely we will do.
This is a question from the audience, and you may not know the answer, but if you do, we'll just take up the subject. You know, there was some controversy in the paper in the trustee's office, and this question is, do you know who will repay Brenda Radford for the over $8,000 that she paid out of her own money to cover the shortfall caused by a former employee there in the trustee's office? Do you know who will be repaid? And I guess just a follow-up question, if you don't know how she will be repaid, what steps can be taken, that that could maybe prevent something like this from happening in the future? You know, and I know it's not perfect world where there is something can always break, but what steps can we take and how would she be repaid there? Did you go first last time? Okay, sorry. Keep me straight.
I may not be right on this, but all county employees that handle money are bonded. So I would assume there's a bonding process that would help with the repayment. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I do know that employees who handle money in the county are bonded. So I would assume that's where it comes from. You know, we've got a little bit of a dark cloud over the trustee's office right now. And that happens. I don't blame anybody in the office for what happened with the money being stolen. You can have things stolen from you anywhere, anytime. If you think about your own house, you may buy a dog, you may buy a burglar alarm, and then you're going to get new locks, and then you may end up buying a gun. You're going to protect yourself. But the crooks, the people that are going to steal from you, they're going to figure it out. So having the money stolen is a horrible thing, and the person that did it, I'm sure, was under a lot of stress, and I'm sure there's a lot of issues around that forces somebody to take that kind of measure.